How you doing there, Dave?
Hey, Dave.
Well, I would like to listen to Ron Funches now.
Oh God. How you doing, man?
I'm all right.
Are you going to do like a mini? Because the Dollop is one of the most fascinating podcasts out there. I mean, it is endlessly fascinating. Are you going to cover a subject, or we're just going to rip? What's your plan?
Let me just say this: March 27th, 2020.
So recent.
The Navy hospital ship Mercy arrived and docked at Port Los Angeles to help treat patients who are not infected with the coronavirus, while LA hospitals deal with the pandemic with non-pandemic patients. Pandemic patients.
Okay.
So once docked, it became the largest hospital in the Los Angeles area, freeing up beds for the rest of the city. Those infected by the coronavirus could go into the hospitals. 1,000 hospital beds on the ship, huge ship.
See, now I can't imagine hearing about this in another time, how freaked out I would be.
Oh, no, this is
But this was last week.
This was last week.
So I'm a little more like, yeah, we got a big Navy hospital because of the pandemic.
The Mercy is under the control of the Federal Emergency Management Agency and local health authorities instead of the military. Now, Eduardo Moreno, 44, is a local train operator and engineer who works for the Pacific Harbor Line.
Right.
He believed the Mercy was part of a government plan and was using the coronavirus as cover. Quote, the Mercy has an alternative purpose related to COVID-19 or a government takeover.
See, we are really you can tell this timeline is so shortened as to how we normally do the show, because that is such an amazingly crazy thing to hear right away. And is this coming from anywhere, or he is just a vehicle for this powerful mission?
Well, there are theories out there. InfoWars ran a video claiming the Department of Homeland Security was buying up emergency food provisions.
Okay.
And Jordan Sather, a QAnon YouTuber, told followers that coronavirus is a, quote, new fad disease, the release of which was planned. He also told his followers...
Is calling it a new fad that seems very strange.
It's a cool fad disease.
But that's like never been another thing. You've never been like, oh my God, dude, she's got polio. Yama.
Well, you don't know that. You weren't around then. I mean,
man.
Smallpox could have been the shit.
Oh God, cough in my mouth. Yeah.
So Sather told his followers they could drink bleach if they were infected to cure.
Oh, and people have done that. So this guy is spreading good news and goodwill all around the world, the country, Florida.
Yeah, we recommend not doing that.
Well, so two keys got to turn on that.
Yeah. Okay. That's
jury's still out.
So Eduardo, it's his last train. He's pushing it for the day. And he said his thoughts, quote, just kept going and going.
Okay.
And going and going. And then he just couldn't take it anymore. And he said he had to stop the Mercy. Quote, sometimes you get a little snap. I just had it and I was committed and I went for it. I had one chance.
This is so like, you're going as fast as a train. He says sometimes you just got to snap.
Sometimes you snap and you got to go for it.
Sometimes you just got to snap and go for it.
Yeah.
Is that really what the quote is?
Sometimes you just get a little snap.
Sometimes just get a little snap.
Yeah, and then it's like go time, and then you got to attack.
That's what Miles Davis said. Sometimes you just get a little snap.
So wearing a bright yellow safety vest, Eduardo
drove first when you're driving a train off the tracks.
You got to think about it. So he gets his train going as fast as he possibly can. He lights a flare and holds it up in the cab.
What the fuck? This happened last week.
Yeah.
Okay. How fast can his train go?
It's going pretty fast. It's going very fast. It's not. This is not a slow situation. This train is hauling ass.
And he's got a flare in his hand.
He's got a flare up. He's got his yellow vest on.
Sure.
And he aims the train at the Mercy. So there's a track that's going straight toward the Mercy.
Oh my God!
Like, this is it.
There should not be that track.
And then at the end of the tracks, The train goes through a concrete barrier.
This is
and then through a steel barrier that are there to stop trains because the tracks have ended.
Yeah, but Dave, sometimes you got to snap.
Sometimes you got to snap and go.
Yeah.
And then he went through a chain link fence and slid across a parking lot.
I love that order of steel barrier, concrete, chain link. And then if the steel barrier and the concrete hasn't stopped him, we have a linked fence.
Link.
He's going to need to get a key to go through this.
So this is how fast he was going. He went all the way across a parking lot, and then like a regular blacktop parking lot, and then went into a gravel parking lot where the train finally came to a stop.
Mm-hmm.
Still football fields away from the Mercy. He's literally nowhere near the Mercy.
So this is like the guy that slides halfway to second and like is 10 feet shy, and everyone's like, just touch him.
Yeah, I was just like, Jesus, dude, this is sad.
Slid way too early.
There was a highway patrol officer nearby, and he was just sitting there, and he watched the whole thing happen.
He was just like, "What movie are you guys making?"
And then Eduardo climbed out of the cab and started to try to run away, but the cop arrested him.
My God! But he's running like at this point? He's not running towards the ship. He's just like, my plan.
No, he's running away. The plan didn't work. Clearly, he can't.
By a long shot, the plan didn't work.
Look, it was a great idea.
Yeah, no, for sure.
There are a couple
Good thing
of
he
flaws.
lit that flare. Alert people that a train's coming.
So the cop then arrested him, and the cop said Eduardo made a series of, quote, spontaneous statements.
Sure, but by the way, that's a lot of statements.
That is a lot of statements. One of which was, quote, "You only get this chance once. The whole world is watching. I had to. People don't know what's going on here, and
this
now
guy
they will."
I guarantee you, he watched 8 Mile the night before. He's like, you just get one shot. You got to nail it.
Oh my God! I hope he was playing that song.
Oh, boom, 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 boom.
Starting the fucking train.
Boom, boom, boom. Sometimes you just gotta get a train.
Woo hoo!
Sometimes you just get a snap and you gotta go.
So Eduardo admitted he crashed the train. He was like, "Yeah, that was me. You guys saw me."
I'll step up and admit it. I'm the guy.
He said it. He hoped it would get media attention because he was very suspicious of the Mercy.
By the way, did not get a lot of media attention, really.
No. Well, kind of. I mean,
did it?
I don't know. Maybe it did. Maybe it didn't. It did with me because I thought it was amazing.
I just saw like the headline and I was like, I'm sorry.
So he said he thought it would, quote, wake people up, and that, quote, he wanted to bring attention to the government's activities. Eduardo admitted this was his own great idea, and he acted alone. There was no conspiracy happening. He wasn't working with anybody.
Shocking, because it's such an elaborately good plan.
It really is. He also said it was not planned and apparently a spontaneous act to try to crash the train into the boat. So he hadn't really thought it out, because if he had thought it out, he might have been like,
sometimes you just get a snap.
Can't. Yeah, you have a snap. And then, but you can't, if he planned it out, he'd be like, oh, I got to make it like 3 football fields.
If he'd had a week, that's like 30 people that would tell him no. He can't have that.
The ship's commanding officer said, quote, with respect to the train incident, there was certainly no impact to the Mercy whatsoever. If you'll forgive the use of the word, it happened outside our fence line.
Sure. Wow.
To say Eduardo did not get close to the ship is an understatement. The Port of Los Angeles spokesman said, quote, it would have to have had gone several hundred yards through a parking lot and across a water channel to reach the ship.
Oh my God. So he was banking on like a submarine session.
He was banking on the train floating as well.
Going under, right. Sure.
Or no, you could.
Does he think it's like a ghost train or something?
I don't know. I mean, it seems like, I know he'd been in charge of trains for like 10 years, so he should know how they work.
Well, apparently that's pretty easy to not know.
Now, Eduardo was charged with 1 count of train wrecking, which is an actual charge.
Wow, that's like That's like when the referee in football didn't know what to call once, and he's like, he was giving him the business. Like, you don't know what to do. You're like, he's just train wrecking. He's a train wreckery.
Hey guys, I got charged for that when the law saw how I spent my 20s. Because
it carries train wrecking carries a maximum penalty of 20 years. He was held.
What?
He was
Damn.
He was
You
turned.
only get 20 years for trying to drive your train into a hospital boat?
Yeah, I mean it's train. That's a lot of time.
But he tried to do something very crazy.
Yeah,
Great.
he did. That's mass murder.
Yes, he was attempting.
Yeah.
He was attempting to sink a boat hospital.
Can I just say, I mean, again, it's a tragedy what we're living through right now. However, you guys have to be a little bit excited in that you're going to be given a free new episode of The Dollop pretty much every week based on insane stories that are coming out, right?
Yeah.
No, we've been rooting for this for ages.
Hey, can I say the last thing about Eduardo? They started investigating him. They're checking him for terrorist links, but they found out that he is a member of a Facebook group that is into train crashes.
Oh my God! No.
Wait. Like erotic stuff, or just like they're all fans?
They couldn't find anything else about it. It's just that it's a train group and they're into train crashes. This could be Crash for Trains. He could have had a big heart on running away.
Like what if?
Don't know.
Oh God. Okay, we're okay. Hang on. I got to freshen up my tea.
Oh my Lord.
Well, guys, thanks so much for coming. And if you've never listened to The Dollop before, it is truly one of the funniest podcasts. Please, if you're going to start listening to it, listen to the one. What is the name of the baseball player again?
The Rube.
Oh, the Rube.
Start with an episode called The Rube. Is one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life. And there's a moment where Gareth has to make a moral decision where he has to like rewind in his head, like, wait a minute, who have I been making fun of this whole time? Because some revelations come out about the Rube midway through. It's one of the best podcasting moments I've ever heard.
And then the one that you're on, Boston Corbett, which also has one of the best moments.
If you want to hear an entire audience almost get up and try to run out of a room, and for something that we all know is coming, that's what's where we all know it's coming, and it happens anyway, and it's oh God, okay, yeah, amazing, guys.
Thank you, Patton.
I feel like reality has been listening to The Dollop and it's like, okay, I'll show these motherfuckers.
Yeah,
let me show
hold
these
my
guys.
beer. Hold my beer, man.
Hold my beer.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you for doing this, Patton. See ya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.